Hold on, we recording? Hold on, wait. I'm not ready yet. Let me give me some wine. Okay, we ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello and welcome. Cheers to each and every one of you playing this episode. Don't forget to stay in the know, to look out for our social media posts on Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the episode notes. Welcome back to the Graceful Together podcast. I am super excited, you guys. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year. I know that we are a few days into the new year. However, better late than never, right? So I pray that 2023 is doing better than 2020. What? I pray that 2023 is better than 2022. It's better than your 21, and it's better than your 20. I'm praying that this year has started off in a better movement, in a better feeling, in a better way for you guys. Okay, so I want to get into this episode because, for one, it has been so delayed. My plan was to have this recorded the last month of the year, last year. However, I just could not get it together. But we all know that things that are delayed and everything has an appointed time. So I'm pretty sure that once I get this out, that it will bless someone and someone would hear it and that it will bless their life. So let's get into it. So the topic that I want to talk about today is rerouting. So this is going to be the first season of the year. We're going to be in season 3, episode 1. I'm super excited about this rerouting season because, to be honest with you, 2022 was a season where my life was rerouted. And when I say rerouted, I don't mean just like redirected on a different path from just what I had planned, but I mean just actually going back around some things that I had already been around, and God allowed me to handle those situations differently, for me to have a better outcome. And I know that a couple years ago, maybe a year or two ago, I shared something on Instagram where I said that sometimes an open wound doesn't get closed by having what did I say? Sometimes, what did I say? I say you don't have to heal an open wound by going back. You don't have to get closure by going back to the thing that wounded you. And to be honest, God showed me last year that isn't always true. Even though in some instances it is true, because you may not be able to reconnect with that person, you may not be able to go back to that time, but you can move forward, process it, and deal with it the best way that you can. So if that person has passed away, or if that season is just, can't get in contact with the person, or if it's just a time period of your life that left you scarred, you would just have to revisit that moment in your mind and your memory, write it down, pray about it, and cast it unto God. And being honest, it was really hard for me to go back and deal with those lot of things. And it's shocking, even though I had already had a feeling that a lot of things and people from my past I would have to get back and encounter with because of some things that had kind of shifted in my own life. And I don't know, it was like I knew it was coming. I had even talked to like my counselor about it, and I told her, I said, I feel like this person is going to come back up in my life, and I don't really know if I'm ready. I don't really know how I'm going to handle it. I don't really know what I'm going to say. But God equipped me with grace, and God equipped me with forgiveness. Right? It's so hard to sometimes have forgiveness and grace, right? Like, for y'all religious folk out there who like, oh girl, you wrong. Bless your heart. But no, for real though, even as a Christian, sometimes it's really hard to forgive somebody. I mean, if somebody step on your toe, somebody hit your car, somebody punch you on accident, like something like that, somebody forget to pick you up, that's forgivable. But actually going through some motions in your life where years later you're still impacted by that, and then having to extend grace to the person or that situation that has hurted you, or what hurted you? What is going on with me today, guys? What is wrong with me today, y'all? I need to get together. But going back to that situation that hurt you, it's hard. For instance, as you guys know, if you've been following the podcast for a while, I talk a lot about my family. I talk about a lot of relationships from my past, and it's just hard. It's hard to sometimes extend grace to people that you feel don't deserve it. And even though I've learned that last year was a season for me, I would say a lesson. Last year was a lesson of grace and understanding. And this year, and patience. Oh my God, patience, faith. God is still working on me with patience, okay? But last year was absolutely grace and patience. This year, I know we're only 31 days in at this time that I'm recording. I don't know when you're going to listen to it, but we will be how many every day when you listen to this. But God has been showing me, and it's so crazy because I prayed and I said, Lord, 2023 is yours. I want to be flexible. You get on there and you pray these prayers, and sometimes you don't really understand. And y'all forgive me if you hear like me wheezing. Y'all know my asthma. Disclaimer. But also forgive me if you hear like when I talk, because I got braces now, y'all, and it's killing me to talk right now. Like, I was talking on the phone just not so long ago, and I was cutting my mouth up in all kind of ways. So I have to slow down talking. I have to talk in a different tone, because if not, my mouth will get caught up on these brackets, and you do not want to hear the aftermath of that, because I'm not going to edit it out. I'm going to be real. But anyways, move forward. But it's so hard sometimes extending grace to the people that you may have valid feelings towards when it comes to not helping somebody. It's so hard extending compassion when your logic kicks in before anything, before grace, before compassion. I think that's where I lack. And I had to pray to God. I said, you know what, God, last year didn't go as planned. So this year I'm going to consistently be flexible. Whatever it is that you would have me do, God, I ask that you do it. I ask that you show me. I ask that I be able to submit it to your plan. And I was looking at Proverbs 16:9. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his step. Because I know sometimes we go into 2023, or not 2023, because we ain't going to go into it but one time. But we go into the new year having these vision boards and having these prayer boards and having mood boards or whatever you call it, boards, for the things that we want to accomplish in life. And it's so crazy because in December, I look back over my vision board for 2022, and I can tell you I probably only had 2 things on there that I accomplished. Shameless plug, you guys. I want to put this out there. I have a kids apparel line. It's faith-based. It's called Noah's Ark Apparel and Accessories. We are on Instagram. We have a website, Noah's Ark AA. I'm talking about ad. It ain't no email. Noah's Ark AA.com stands for Noah's Ark Apparel and Accessories.com. We have right now a limited stock because I'm getting ready to do a spring launch, and then I'm getting ready to get some accessories, guys. I'm so excited about this. I have some cute hats and things coming up. Nobody knows it, so you are the VIP exclusive. Y'all, I'm in a good mood. But so I'm super excited. I have just go on the website, find the Instagram. I'll tag it in the episode notes. So shameless plugs. But anyway, that was one of the things that I accomplished. God kind of gave me that vision when I got not when I got pregnant with my son, but after I had him, because I said, Lord, one day I was sitting in my room and I was journaling, and he was in his crib sleeping because, oh my God, my baby was A1 baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, slept. I had to wake him up to eat. Like, he slept through the night. Only thing I didn't like was having to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and feed him, because that was when he's too, like, waking up every 2 to 3 hours was just like, girl, please, I cannot do that again. But God gave me that vision, and I was like, that's not really what I want to do. So I had my son in 2021. This didn't come to pass until 2022. Going over into this year, 2023, I'm super excited because I did a small launch for Thanksgiving, did a Black Friday sale. And I'm getting ready to do a spring launch, and I'm going to have some accessories on there, that I think the kids will love. And basically, the apparel line is because I want faith-based clothing for my child. And there's a lot of faith-based clothing for adults, for women, for mommy and me's. There's maybe a few of them for, father and son or mama and son. But I wanted just to do a solely focus on kids because I feel like, this generation needs it. And like the word says, train your child up in a way that they shall go, and they will go. The kids will tell the story, the gospel. So I really believe that. I'm just excited. So I can't wait to see how it does. It's been doing good so far. So hopefully you guys will check it out. Anyways, getting back to the podcast, because that ain't even what it does have something to do with the podcast, but not really the podcast. But that's one of the things that I was able to check off my list after being kind of procrastinating on it for a while. I finally launched it last year in December. So super excited about that. What else did I do on my vision board? I'm just trying to show you guys how realistic that board was. And I thought it was realistic because I have a lot of things on there. Get into a relationship. I'm not in a relationship. I am single. All single. Okay. Yes, that's me. It's me doing a little dance. Okay. Y'all, I am goofy. What else? I can't think of it because I threw it in the trash. But anyways, long story short is I probably accomplished maybe 2 to 3 goals and go to school. Now, I did get into school, you guys. So that's like 3 things. And be the best mom I can be. That's like 4 things. But I had like a whole, like not a whole board, but like a half a board filled up. And I literally looked over it the last couple of weeks of December. And I said, wow, I took time. I put buy a house. I did not buy a house. I put get my real estate license. I did not get my real estate license. And you guys know I was talking about that for the longest, but I kind of feel like God's telling me don't go that way, so I have not did it. What else? Do my interior business. I am going to school for interior design, so we'll see what God does with that. But God may have something else in store. So it's a lot of things that I have on there that did not come to pass. So my point is, I said all that to say 10 minutes later that the word of God is true. Like we have to be flexible to be able to align ourselves with what God's plan is for us. Because sometimes we can walk in thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like I remember when I was in school, and they used to have this thing called MASH. I think it was MASH. I think it was MASH, but it's like who you gonna marry. Dang, let me Google it. Okay, y'all may hear me clicking on my phone, but that's okay. If they even know what it is, MASH puzzle, I guess, from 90s. Oh, telling my age. I remember it was Mary. Okay, oh, here we go. Oh, no! I just seen it. MASH. I'm going to say MASH game. I think it said MASH game. I'm sorry, y'all. This wasn't playing. See? Flexible. MASH game from the 90s. Oh, here it is. So, what does it stand for? Mansion, apartment, shack, or house. That's what it says. I don't know why I was thinking married. Oh, okay, because it has like different categories. So it's city, spouse, number of kids, car, career, and pets. Like I really wish that I could go back and look at my little MASH puzzles that I had. I can't even tell you what options I put on there for spouses. That's just so crazy. But the point is, I'm pretty sure there's probably, I'm not going to say nobody that has all those things on there, but some people probably are really close. They probably married their high school sweetheart, their middle school sweetheart. They probably had the number of kids that they wanted. They probably got the house they want, or, maybe got the car they want. Maybe they don't want the job they want, but maybe they got all the other things. So I would say it's not unrealistic to get everything you want, if it aligns with God's will for us. So we have to be flexible in what it is that we're asking God for, and what it is that we're praying. Because every time something happens, I'm like, Lord, why is this happening to me? And God is constantly reminding me, remember what you prayed. And that's what I tell you guys all the time. Remember the things that you pray and you ask for, because God will definitely deliver. He will definitely put you to the test when it comes to what you're praying for. So I was, oh Lord, please let me be flexible. Let it be your will, not mine. Submit myself unto you, God. Let me be a vessel. Use me. And then when God comes to use me for the people that I have a heavy heart towards, it's hard because I'm like, God, why I got to do this? I'm going out my way. Why I got to do this? For instance, like I said, you guys know the story about my mom. So recently I had to go over there and take her some food, and things like that. And I was telling my counselor, I said, you know what? It's really hard to even say this out loud because I am a believer. And I know that Jesus is not pleased with me when I say this, but he will honor my honesty. But I know that I need to submit that and cast it unto him to let him do the work in me and in my mom to repair our relationship. But I was telling her, I said, it's hard for me to be so graceful and so nice to her. I said, my son is 1 year old. He'll be 2 in March. Whoop, whoop, go Noah. But he'll be 2 in March, and she doesn't have a relationship with him. He doesn't know who she is. I have an older brother. He doesn't know who he is. These people can't tell you his birthday, can't tell you how old he is unless they go back and do the math, can't tell you what he likes, can't tell you what his favorite word is, can't tell you what he's interested in. So it's really hard for me to extend grace to people that every time I think about it hurts, because I'm like, God, when I was pregnant, I cried many times because, and you guys know I keep it real with you guys, because even though I'm in a great mood, this is really hard to talk about, but I'd rather be authentic than put some fluff out there. But when I was pregnant, I cried a lot, and I still struggle with it now. Just the fact that I didn't have my mom when I was pregnant. Just going through some things in a previous situation, but it's just hard because it's like you want your mom there. You want that support. You want to be able to have that motherly support, for your mom, and I didn't have that, and I still struggle with it to this day, But it's just hard. That's what I'm saying. Like, going through all of this to just tell you guys that it's hard to extend grace and compassion and understanding to people that you feel like don't deserve it. But remember your why. Remember why God called you to that person. Remember why God gave you the heart that you have. Remember why God put it in your mind to think of somebody. Remember why God gave you the heart to just pray for somebody that crosses your mind. Remember why. I just told somebody this the other day to remember why. Whenever the enemy tries to attack you, remember why. Because John 10:10 says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's exactly what he will do. And I can tell you, 31 days into 2023, he's tried to do that. Just going through a timeline of my 2023, let me tell you what has happened so far. Y'all, I have to slow down because talking so fast, oh my God. I had to stop and take a breather. But anyways, going through just a quick and fast time frame of what has been happening with me so far in this year. And I realized that we're all having a hard time. And that's why I say, you know what? I need to get this out there because I know there's somebody else that's praying this same prayer that God, your will, not mine. God, help me to be flexible this year. God, help me to see what it is that you want me to see. Help me to do what it is that you want me to do. And then when God reveals it to us, it's heartbreaking. It's hard. And then we get back stuck. We get back stuck in our comfort zone. And then we start just backtracking over like, oh, God, I know I said that, but you really want me to do that. And so that's why I think that it's really important for us to share our testimony, to share what it is that we're going through, because I'm telling you, you're not the only one. And today, I reached out to a friend and I learned that she's going through it. My family, they're going through it. People that I know at work going through it. That people are just going through it. It's a hard time for everybody. So I think that it just takes accountability to be kind to someone because you never know what they're battling, and have grace and compassion. However, let me go to this recap really quick for the last 31 days. So January 1st, you guys know my dad died in 2012. He was murdered. He was shot 13 times. He did not live. Obviously, if I say he was murdered. I don't know what's going on with me today, y'all. I'm in a good mood. I think it's just because I have peace and quiet. My son is sleeping, so I can get some stuff done. I had to go turn his music machine down because even though I turned it down, I can still hear it. So if you guys hear it, just tune that out. Hopefully it don't push you to sleep. I hate that thing. Like, it does not put me to sleep. But him, if I turn it off, he will be up like the morning sun. Anyways, getting back on track. So the 1st of January was a struggle for me this year. Last year was okay. I didn't struggle too bad, but this year it hit me like a sack of bricks. I was crying on the 31st and from like few hours up into the new year came and I heard all those gunshots. I literally had bad anxiety. I laid down, told myself, you know what, I'm going to go to sleep. It's going to be fine. I laid down with the sleep. I had a dream that somebody was shooting in my house. Jumped up out of my jumped up out of my sleep, grabbed my son because I thought somebody was literally shooting. I started crying because I'm just like, what is going on? I had really bad anxiety. Then I had these thoughts of, oh my God, somebody's going to die. Like, who's going to die next? Like, oh my God, what can I do? Like, what? And I was literally consistently checking my sister's location because we keep our locations on. So I was checking her because I was like, Lord, the enemy kept telling me like, oh, you know, your sister, she's secluded, da, da, da. And I was like, God, what in the world is going on? Like, my sister, what? And then I started thinking about my mom. I started thinking about my brother. Like, I just started thinking about my family. If my friends closest to me, I was like, dang, you know, or my friends in general. I just started thinking, like, something's bad's going to happen. Something's bad going to happen. And that's how the enemy got, like, he's been playing on my mind, you guys. And that's why I said this, the Bible tells us he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He doesn't want to see you happy. Yeah, you can go to church, but don't pray, don't fast, don't worship, don't thank God, don't trust God, don't have faith. You can go to church, but when you leave church, leave that at church. The devil doesn't want you to prosper. He doesn't want you to know your capability of how God has equipped you. You are a conqueror. You are a winner. And I don't know who's struggling with anxiety this year like me, but listen, we got this. We're only 31 days in. God can turn around. And you have to cast that anxiety to the Lord and remember what his word says, to do not be anxious. And that's what I end up doing, like, for the past month. All this month, I've been just reading that scripture. Because I said, Lord, the enemy will not win. He will not get my mind. He will not make me anxious. He will not. So that was like the first week. And I still struggle with anxiety. I've been dealing with anxiety about everything. Like, every single thing that you can imagine, I've been dealing with. I've been thinking about just some things that hadn't even come to pass. I've been living in fear. Like, the devil has had my mind captive. And I didn't really know how to get out of that. So anyways, that was the first week of January. Then the next week, that Sunday, the first day of the week, let's start there. No, let's backtrack because I skipped the thing. So you guys know, I talk about all the time my relationship with God and my church home. I have been a member at my church since 2014. I started going in 2014, then I joined in 2015. Okay, so I've been a member there since 2015, but I've been attending since 2014. Thank you. So I've been attending since 2015. However, the Lord showed me that it was time for me to leave that church. And it's still to this day. He showed me that the first week of January. We were getting ready to kick off a new fast. And I think I had already started my fasting because I was like, okay, my birthday's on the 23rd. I don't want to be fasting on my birthday. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start on like the 31st or the 30th. So I think I started on the 30th. So this had to be like maybe the second or third, the second to the fourth day of January this happened. So God showed me that it was time for me to leave that church through something that had happened in one of the services. And I was just heartbroken because I stand on my church. I love my church. I love my pastor. And he showed me this other church that I should be attending. And I've been attending. I went because I work on Sundays. But on the Sundays that I'm off, I went. The message was awesome, but it was uncomfortable. And, I got in the car and I was like, Lord, I know what I said. I know I said it was going to be flexible, but this is crazy. Like, what do you mean leave my church? Like, did you really mean leave my church, or did you just say visit this church? Like, is somebody at this church? Is my husband at this church? Like, what's going on? But I'm still struggling with that to this day. But I've been consistent. Like, the first day that I was off, I went and I attended it. I loved the message. Still was kind of uncomfortable for me being there. I even not left early, but after they got done with like the altar call, I ended up leaving, but they went back into worship and I was like, no, not used to that, leaving. And then I got in the car and I was like asking God basically like, why am I doing this? This is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. And God slowly shut me down and humbled me and said, remember your prayer, flexible, remember #festival. And I was like, yeah, you're right, #festival, but I'm still struggling. To God be the glory. Still struggling with being flexible, you guys. So that was the second thing that happened. I was dealing with anxiety. I had to end up leaving my church. So I'm starting to attend a new church. Prayerfully going to be a member. That's what God showed me. So we're going to see how it goes. At the end of the day, I ain't gonna be disobedient. But it's hard right now to just, because even when I attended church, like the next Sunday, or the Sunday before I went actually to the church, I watched online, and then after I watched, I couldn't really get into there, so I ended up just watching my old church online, and God was like, and I was like, oh man. And the other day I tried to like watch a sermon, and I felt so convicted. I couldn't even get into the message. I said, okay, Lord, you're right. So I've been watching more services by the church. And the church is 1122, if you guys are familiar with. That's the church I've been attending. But I listened to the messages, and I found a bunch of them that I'm just like, okay, God, now that I'm being open and I'm being flexible, just remember in Proverbs 16:9, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his step. I've been praying for instruction. I've been praying for the Lord to guide me. So I say, you know what, God, you're giving me what I'm praying for, and I thank you. I don't understand it, and it's really uncomfortable. But I learned that in being flexible, it does get uncomfortable because, like I said, I've been attending my church since 2014. I faithfully go. Like, so to be there and to just, for God to be like, nope, it's time to pluck you up out of there. I'm just like, I don't get it. It hurts, if I'm being honest. I don't understand it, and I'm still struggling with that. So pray for me, y'all. I'm going to wrap this up because it's getting kind of lengthy, but I hope you guys don't miss the overall message. I'm sharing all of my personal information just to let you know that I'm struggling too. We're 31 days in, and I have had time. I thought 2022 was a roller coaster, a whirlwind, a tsunami, a hurricane, a tornado, a snowstorm, an earthquake. I mean, a volcano erupting. I don't know. But these last 31 days has been a lot. But God said he still has his hand on me. He still has his hand on a situation. And we have to remember that Romans 8:28 says, we know that those who love God, all things work together for good. Right? For all those who are calling unto his purpose. I might have mixed that up, but you guys know it. Because I don't have it like in front of me. But Romans 8:28, I live by it. So whenever I get stuck in being comfortable and not wanting to be discomforted, I remember that 8:28, all things work together. It's kind of hard because even though I told my therapist today, I said, with this next thing I'm about to tell you guys, I'm still struggling, trying to see the good in that. But, God got the last say so. So anyways, recap, anxiety, then having to leave my church. That next week, the 8th of January, I was sitting here working. I said, you know what? I need some coffee. I'm going to go to Dunkin' to get my coffee. I know I love coffee, and I know I love Dunkin'. So I go out to my car, get in my car, try to crank it up. The thing won't crank. My key won't even fit in the ignition, you guys. And so I realized somebody tried to steal my car. Thankfully, they did not steal my car. But they did attempt. But in the attempting, my ignition locked. And my whole, steering wheel pieces was everywhere. My car was, junky. And I kept saying, why is my car like this? What? I would never leave my car. But it didn't dawn on me because I'm like, okay, I need to get in here. I need to get out. And, yeah, somebody tried to steal my car. And then the police didn't want to dust any fingers. He didn't want to really do his job. That was kind of pissing me off. And then I couldn't do anything about the car until that Monday because everything was closed on Sunday. I didn't get a rental until that Wednesday or Thursday because nobody had a rental. And then, long story short, you guys, we're coming up on the 1st of February in a few hours, and I still don't have my car. I'm still driving a rental. So that's that. And I have to pay a $1,000 deductible because someone tried to steal my car. So kudos to me. So that's also been going on. What's another big thing? School. So you guys know, like I said, I started school last year. I did 2 semesters, 3 classes, all B's. Thank you, Jesus. By the grace of God, I don't know how I did it, working full time with the 1-year-old that stays home with me. And I was doing school from home. To God be the glory, because I don't know how I did it. I got all B's, passed. Tried to enroll this semester, got dropped from my classes because they wanted me to pay out of pocket because I did not take enough classes last semester, which was crazy because I was told that I was taking enough. And I think I talked to you guys about that before, but long story short, they said I was not taking enough. I'm not eligible for financial aid right now. I'm doing a financial aid appeal, which is going to take about 30 days. So I may or may not be going to school this semester because I have to pay the $1,000 out to my car to get my car back. So yeah, that's that. I'm pretty bummed about that. And I'm like, God, okay, maybe you're redirecting me and telling me just to hold off on school, or maybe it's just an attack from the enemy. But I don't know. I'm still praying about it. Um, I think those are like the most dramatic things that has happened. Um, to be honest with you guys. Um, but overall, it's just been a rough time. My family's, we lost a 3-month-old baby in our family. My little baby cousin, he died in a bad car accident from brain damage. So that's tragic. It's very sad. Um, it's a lot, you guys. So I'm going to end on this note and tell you guys to remain flexible. We don't know what God has in store for us this year. He will reveal to you as time progresses. We are only 1 month in. We have 11 months to go. Don't rush the end of the year like I did. Especially, I think my mind is still stuck on my car. Because it's like, I literally had to pay $1,000 because someone tried to steal my car. And it's not even 6 yet, and it's going on a month. That is just baffling. And then I still have to pay the tax on my rental car. I paid out almost $100. I mean, y'all. But anyways, getting back on track. This kind of got long-winded, but I hope you guys didn't miss the message inside of me rambling and telling my personal business, because it is about my personal life, but it's just to show you about being flexible and bringing it back to God's word, because we make our plans, but God has our life written. Like, isn't that crazy to think about? Like, sometimes I know you may ask yourself, like, if I would have done this, this could happen. If I would have waited this, no. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. You did exactly what God knew you were going to do. God's not surprised. God does not get surprised about the things that we call a mistake. God knows every move. So stay rooted in God's word. Stay anchored in faith. A shameless plug. That's my clothing line. Noah's Ark Apparel and Accessories. The kids' shirts say anchored in faith. I'm coming out with some hats that say anchored in faith. Again, you guys are the first ones to know. Boop, boop, boop. But I love you guys. I hope you tune into the next episode. Guys, please rate the show. Let me know what needs to improve. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know how I'm doing. I know I've been MIA for a while, but as your girl just said, it's been a lot going on, but I'm going to try to be more consistent to get the word out. But I really hope that this came to somebody at the right moment, even if it's one person, because I'm struggling with anxiety. I know I can't be alone in the world with all these people. So I'm praying for you that you cast your anxiety into the Lord and you put it on the altar and you give it to him, because he will win your battles, because the devil has no ground here. So I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you stay tuned for more episodes. Remember, being grateful makes you gorgeous.